In this episode, you'll discover why feeling stuck may not be the problem at all, and what that feeling could be quietly trying to tell you. Welcome to the Midlife Reinvention Podcast, a podcast helping women in career and life transitions achieve clarity on their next steps so they can transform uncertainty into an energizing next chapter. I'm your host, Kavita Ahuja, and the founder of It's My Time Now Coaching. If you're wondering what's next in your career or life, you are in the right place. Through solo and guest episodes, you'll gain practical tips, tools, and inspiration to help you uncover blocks, gain confidence, and be, do, and have what you want. I rediscovered myself after the age of 50, and I know you can too. It's my time now to help you do just that. I'm so excited you're here. Let's dive in. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Midlife Reinvention Podcast. If you're listening today, there's a good chance that something in your career or life doesn't quite feel right anymore. Not loudly, not dramatically, but persistently. As I work with my clients and witness their transformations, we often come back to the very beginning, to what made them reach out to me in the first place. And almost always it starts with a feeling they struggle to articulate. They say things like, I just feel stuck, or I should be feeling grateful, but I'm just not excited. I don't hate what I do, but I just don't feel alive doing it anymore. Something's off, and I just can't quite name it. This feeling or these feelings of unfulfillment can show up quietly at first. A lack of motivation, a low-grade restlessness, a sense that you're just going through the motions. And then at some point, it becomes impossible to ignore. If this resonates with you, I want you to hear this clearly right from the start. You are not alone, and you are not broken. There is such a strong common thread here that I want to slow this down a bit and really unpack it. Because in my experience, 9 times out of 10, feeling unfulfilled isn't the real problem, it's a signal. So, in this episode, and in a few upcoming episodes as well, I'm going to walk you through the real, often hidden causes of unfulfillment and what they're quietly pointing towards. Let's start with the most common one. I feel stuck. And here's how this usually shows up. You wake up, you move through your routine, you answer emails, you sit in meetings, you take care of responsibilities, and you take care of other people. And by the end of the day, you're exhausted, but not fulfilled. I often hear clients say, I feel busy all the time, but it's like I'm not actually moving forward. One woman described it as being on a treadmill, lots of effort, lots of motion, but no real sense of progress. And another one said, it feels like I'm repeating the same year over and over again. And that's the feeling that we're talking about today. And here's the truth I really want you to hear and take in. Feeling stuck is not a sign of failure. It's very often a signal that you've outgrown something. You're not stuck because you're lazy. You're not stuck because you lack discipline or drive. You're stuck because your outer life no longer reflects your inner growth. This is where it's important to slow down. Because what often keeps women stuck isn't the feeling itself, but what it quietly starts to cost them over time. When this sense of unfulfillment gets unnamed, it doesn't just stay contained to work. It starts to seep into how you see yourself. I see women begin to second-guess their instincts. They stop trusting what they want. They tell themselves that they should be satisfied and then feel guilty that they're not. They lower their expectations, not because they're incapable, but because hoping starts to feel risky. And years can pass like this, not in misery, but in a muted version of life. And that's the real cost of staying stuck. Not that something is wrong, but that something essential goes unexpressed. Let me give you a few examples of how this actually shows up. I work with women who are highly competent, respected, and relied upon, and yet they tell me that I feel underutilized, like I'm operating at half my capacity. Others have achieved everything they once worked towards, the title, the income, the stability, and now quietly wonder why it doesn't feel like enough anymore. And then there are women who have grown profoundly through life, through motherhood and caregiving, loss, divorce, health changes, and realize that who they are now is not who their career was built for. One client said something that stayed with me. She said, "I feel like my life is wearing an old version of me." And that's not laziness, that's evolution. And I know this terrain personally. About 10 years ago, I found myself in a place where I was exceptionally good at what I'd been doing for the last nearly 2 decades. I had the experience, I had the credibility and the results. And from the outside, everything looked great and right and perfect. But inside, I felt like I was on autopilot. The work no longer stretched me. It no longer reflected who I was becoming. And no amount of recognition could quiet that inner knowing. And what I've learned through my own journey and through coaching so many women is that this feeling of being stuck is rarely about what you're doing. It's about misalignment. In my experience, misalignment shows up when we drift away from our Ikigai, or our deeper reason for being. Ikigai is the intersection of what you love, what you're good at, what the world needs, and what can bring abundance into your life. Sometimes the misalignment isn't dramatic. You might be doing work you're very good at, but there's no joy left in it. You might love the impact you're having, but feel constantly depleted. You might feel alive when you talk about ideas, but never get to touch them in your day-to-day life. And when one of these pieces is missing, the whole thing starts to feel heavy. That heaviness is what many women called feeling stuck. So let's clear something up. Feeling stuck is not because you're lazy. Your energy is being drained by work that no longer fits. We refer to this energy as catabolic energy, which is the energy that drains you. It's not because you lack discipline. Your goals no longer inspire you. And it's not just a rough patch you need to push through. It's a call for realignment. And here's the hopeful part. Even small shifts towards alignment create movement. I've watched women regain energy before changing anything externally. They feel clearer, they feel more grounded, more like themselves again. Because clarity creates momentum. And momentum is fueled by anabolic or positive energy, which gets released when you are in alignment with your reason for being or Ikigai. Again, I'm going to say that. Clarity creates momentum, and momentum is fueled by anabolic or positive energy, which gets released when you are in alignment with your reason for being or Ikigai. And this brings me to the solution. You can get unstuck. But the first step isn't action, it's awareness. You need to understand where the misalignment is before you try to fix it. Let's say if your car is stuck in the mud and not moving forward. You're not going to give up and abandon it, are you? You are going to try and figure out what caused the stuckness. How did it get there? What circumstances made it get stuck? And what tools can we use now to dig it out of the mud? It's the same with you, my friend. Why are you feeling unfulfilled? Is it truly because you are stuck or something else? Is it because you want to make a change but are afraid of the consequences? Is it because you are unmotivated or not excited about the future of your career or life? Is it because you don't have a clear vision of the direction you want to take? Or is it because you're not confident enough in your ability to initiate change? Or perhaps you are just looking for greater balance between your work and life. All these things and others can contribute to a lack of fulfillment in your career or life. And you're not going to be able to get out of the mud if you don't know what caused you to get there in the first place. That's exactly why I created the Career and Life Fulfillment Quiz as a great starting point. It's a great diagnostic tool, not to tell you what to do next, but to help you see where you may have drifted from yourself. The quiz helps you understand how fulfilled you truly are right now with an exact percentage score. It's not meant to judge you, but to help you identify why you are feeling unfulfilled. If you answer yes, I'm feeling stuck in your career or life, and own it, answering it honestly, that is the first step towards fixing it. Once we know that, then we can work towards moving your life and career towards alignment with your reason for being, or Ikigai, or at least try to figure out what your Ikigai is. Because at the heart of unfulfillment is misalignment with your Ikigai, or reason for being, which causes these feelings of stuckness, lack of motivation, lack of confidence, and other catabolic emotions. When you identify why you might be feeling stuck and see which parts of your Ikigai are being expressed and which ones may have been neglected for years, that insight alone is the beginning of movement. So if this episode is describing you, don't overthink it. Take the Career and Life Fulfillment Quiz. It just takes about 2 minutes, and it's the first link in the show notes. And it will give you an immediate clarity about how unfulfilled you really are and what may be causing this. And that's the first step towards lasting change. You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need to make a decision today. You just need clarity. Start there. You're not broken. You're not behind. You're simply ready for more. Take the quiz, and I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll explore another hidden cause of unfulfillment and what it's really trying to tell you.